Hey, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us today for another CTC software webinar. Today we're going to be talking about part 7, which is the final part of this series of site design. My name is Tony Crick. I'm the Civil Product Manager here at CTC Software. As we go along here, if you have any questions, please enter them into the question panel and we will try to get to them during the broadcast or certainly after I'm finished. And also you can sign up for our events on our, don't miss another one, on our events page of our website. You can go there and pre-register for any of these. If you're watching on YouTube, you can certainly ask any questions there and we will get to those as well. So let's get started. So as I said, this is a series of webinars. This is the final one, just to show some of the ways that CTC CIM Project Suite of tools can be used to save time, making your workflow more efficient and allowing for quick drawing data updates when things change. We have taken a land development site and showed some of the ways that CTC tools can help get the job done a little more efficiently. So today we're going to be focusing on the Project Suite. It's one of 2 CIM suites of tools. We also have a Manager Suite. But the Project Suite is really intended for everyday Civil 3D users creating design and production drawings. And it will work, currently it will work back to version 2020. However, since Civil 3D recently released their 2025 version, we will also be updating very soon and will no longer support 2020. So if you don't have at least Civil 3D 2021 loaded, I suggest that you do that to enable our tools. So CIM Project Suite. What are the suite of tools? We have a whole series of tools here. We have survey tools, pipe tools, grading tools, corridor tools, our general portion with Label Genie, Clash Seeker, Data Wizard, which helps to create legends and tables and quantity takeoffs, and then our sheet generator, which helps to expedite the creation of sheets. Today we're going to be using Feature Line to Alignment, Pipe Planner, and some more Label Genie. So as I said, it's for the everyday design and production, and it's really set up to automate time-consuming tasks. And it's built directly into Civil 3D for consistency and familiarity. We have no proprietary files at all. We use your settings, all of your styles, anything you've created in Civil 3D, and we also create, anything we create also is in 3D, Civil 3D formats. So they're really designed to save time during the design and production, and we can save out templates to maintain consistency and avoid surprises, which also speeds things up, and I will show you some of that today. And once we have those, we can get new team members up and going, and they can pretty much plug and go with those. And our easy interface really flattens the learning curve. So as I said, this is part 7. If you have seen any of the other parts, then you've seen us use the tools throughout. If not, you can go back to our YouTube channel to review those if you would like. So part 1, we did some existing conditions. We showed how survey tools can help with the platting and labeling for those. Then we did some preliminary grading for phase 1. We did all the roads using AutoGrader, and then we refined some more grading to do the lots, building off of what we had done before. Then we generated some volumes from that phase 1 as we're looking at today with earthwork processor. And then we did some pipe design, and then last part we did some labeling. And so today we are going to show how we can use our tools to help with some of the staking, to get it out the door. So let's jump into the live demo. So as I said, this is a series. This is what we started with. We have a bare piece of land here that we're going to develop, connecting to this neighborhood, eventually developing this entire area. So we created the surface using AutoGrader. All the roads we use with doing AutoGrader as well. In something this small, it really sped things up. We didn't have to use corridors to accomplish the same tasks to get those things done. So let me turn that off and get our surface out of the way so we can see things. Okay, so with our pipe design, we did all these pipes through here. Last week we did labeling, and we labeled all these pipe networks with that. In addition, we showed how to put some spot labels on our lot pads here, and also to label these light poles, which the guys could use in the field, with the station offset, to easily take that out and plug those into their data collectors. So today we'll show a few more tools that we can use to accomplish those same tasks. So I'm going to start today with feature line to alignment. And by the way, you see this is light green, this one light green, corridor cleanup. That indicates they're a free tool. So if you download our trial version, you will get those and have those in perpetuity. So the first thing it's asked me to do is to go select a feature line. So we use AutoGrader to create these feature lines for the back of curbs. And if we needed to go stake this back of curb, we needed to get that out in the field. There's a number of different ways to do it, but probably the easiest is just to create an alignment off of it, and then the profile, so you can export it in a XML or RXL for Trimble, depending on your format or what you do. So I'm going to call this top back of curb, Mills Drive, and lane. Not going to bother with the description. The alignment type can be any. These come right from your tool space. As I said, we don't use anything special. You have had to have created these already. I'm just going to select this one. That's curb. Really doesn't matter what you use. We don't need a site for this, so I'm not going to do that. And my alignment style, I'm going to leave that at proposed. That's fine. We can set our layer here. I'm going to leave that also at road, and then my alignment label set. I don't want any labels for that, so we don't really need those. And then we can create the profile here. New profile name, I'm going to call it top back curb. Mills Lane Drive Stake. And the style I want for that, I'm going to put that on my, actually I'm going to put it on my right sample, going to the right here. And then I'm just going to tell it to make a profile also. select my alignment. Which one do I want to use? We created this one for it. I'm going to leave that set, style, and then I can create it. And there's our profile of this top back of curb right here. That runs the entire length. So now we have this whole curb here, and with the profile we have vertical data, so we can export that, as I said before, as XML or get it RXL, Trimble format, however you do things. So just that quick, we can get that ready to go stake. Then some of the other things we can do with this, whatever your workflow is, you might do this a different way. You might DXF these lot pads out, whatever you need to do to get these out with an elevation. So last time we put the elevations on here to stack or to stake these out, but we don't really know. We could take these numbers, we could run them off the DXF. We could do some other things with them. We can also generate station offsets to stake these off of this alignment. I'm just going to use this one today. So if we wanted to do station offsets for these, I'm going to first delete these off of there. They don't really get in the way, but I'm going to get them out of there anyway. So with those gone, we'll put station offsets for all of these corners. So if you just wanted to give them a printout, they could go and they could plug these into their data collector, however you typically do it. So I can use Label Genie, again, just like we did for these light poles in another part 6, I think it was. Yeah, last one, part 6. So it's already set up for station offsets from the previous one. So feature lines, what do we want it to be? So these were for, I don't know what they were for, but so we had one object, and I can do all of these at one clip, all of these. So I'm going to select these by layer. Since they're on different layers, I can do those. And I can also do these all at once. So these are on different layers. We can see right there. If I wanted to do them all, I could put a wildcard in here, but we don't want all of these to be station offset from this alignment. So then the next thing we need to do is we need to set our anchor points. So we're going to use our vertices. Right here, and then we have a setting right here to pick what do we want, which vertices do we want it to do. So we have the select all button or the check none button. So if I click that, they all clear. So for this one, we just want to have special ones. We probably want point of intersection. We probably want begin of object, and pick the through points. Some of those might have these full basement walkouts. And that should be all we need. No intervals. So I'm going to say OK right there. The key part of this is we do have to have an alignment. Which I can select this by object name right here to get my alignment. And it was already that alignment. So with that, I say OK. Then we have our formatting tab right here. So in our formatting tab, what this does is this pulls your style. And again, that comes right from your Civil 3D styles, whatever you have in your tool space. So anything you have over there, we can get at. So I'm going to use this station offset tag right here. And for this one, I'm going to put an X on the spot. So we'll use this basic X right here. And that should be all we need. So with that, I'll just click the Add button right there. 138 labels are going to go on. And there we've labeled station offsets for all of these lock corners right here. So I have another way of doing this too if you want northing and easting. We could put that on there also. So let me take this off. I'll show you another way we can get a northing and easting on there. So I'm going to go ahead and take those off. I'm going to open Label Genie back up again. And by the way, if you haven't seen this tool before, I'll show you real quickly the layout of Label Genie. So we have our Options tab right here. It just shows where our label templates are going to come from, which is something I talked about at the opener, that these files can come from our Label Genie template. So if I set this to my templates and my Label Genies right here, say OK. And if I close it, I need to close it to get it to recognize that path. And if I open it back up again, we'll see all of the templates that I have previously created that are available for you to choose from. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to pick the spot on a feature line right here, and it really doesn't matter what that says. I'll show you that in a second here. So we get this warning right here when we load one. If we had some special settings we created here, and I said save and proceed, it's going to direct me back to here where I can give it a name and save that one. So if I want to do that, for instance, I could do that. So I'm going to use spot on feature lines for this one. So it's pulling from the general notes right there. That's kind of a special thing for that. And I got to pick my feature lines. So with that, I can come in here and I can pick these feature lines just like that. And it picked that one, but they're all the same. So I can use the asterisk to get all of these lots on one. So we see a 16 right there, but if I hit the refresh, now we've got 33 objects that have found. So in this case, again, we want the vertices. Probably want all of these again. I'm going to select that one again too. So we've got our vertices. If we had placed labels before, we would leave this clicked to get rid of those. Now we come to our formatting style. And this is in my general notes. So I have one here that's elevations. I also have one here that's northing, easting, and elevation for those corners. I'm going to leave the basic spot on again, rotate them at 45 so they stand out. That's really all we need to do that. So when I say OK, it's going to add 200 labels. So now we have northing, easting, elevation for every one of these corners. So if you want to extract those, there are a number of ways to do that. And as a matter of fact, I am working on a tool that will automate that for you. And kind of like to know if you guys think that would be a very useful thing. So let me know in the chat if you, or the questions, whatever, if you would like to see that tool developed sooner rather than later. We can get that out to you. So there's a couple ways doing that, and then now that we're here, if we wanted to just switch those back to just the spot labels, it's simply Civil 3D stuff. So I can come in here and I can just change that just to elevation if I want to. And now I have just the spot elevations. So easily flip between those two if you want to. But I included the elevations with the northing, easting in my label style. And I'll show you that here in a second, where that comes from. We get that fairly often on how to get, without using the surface, how to get labels onto feature lines in particular. So what I showed there is it's coming from the general. So if I come here and I come to my general tab, my multi-purpose and my label styles, and I come to note, I just made it in here. And there's these two styles. So one is just the spot elevation, and then we have the northing, easting elevation. So very simple to create. But again, if you don't want to take the time, if you like what you see here, just contact us. I will get that out to you. Okay, so moving on. What else can we do? So another common thing that we would probably do in the field is we'd want to stake our structures. And again, there are a number of ways of doing it. We can do it through Civil 3D with our reports. I've found those in the past to be a little cumbersome, but this is an easy way with our template files that we can have a template to load, and then it will populate that for us to do the things that we want it to do on a consistent basis. So with that, we have our networks. So our pipe designer does a lot of things. Anything you see in white, we can add it, so it helps with the design and the production of those as well. The layout of the pipe, so you might put that in rough, and then you can do a lot of changing in here all at once. You can also export that and do it externally and then bring it back in, and it will fix all that all at once. And we showed that in part 5. If you would like to see that, please review that on our YouTube channel. But today we're going to talk about the staking, how we can use Pipe Planner also to do that. So we have pressure networks available now too, and we have pipe networks. So first let's do our networks. So we could create a CSV for just Storm 2A, for instance. So if I select just Storm 2A, whoops. So it populates like that. So you notice there's nothing here. But I have made a template, which I call just straight up structure staking, which then I can load. And it comes with what we need right there for our structures. We want our ID comes right from your handle. It's a converted number. You could use that as your point number if you want to, but once you get in a CSV, Excel, XML, or XLS, you can edit that too into an Excel. So then we've got our sump elevation. We can send out and our name, and then I just added some extra stuff in here if you would want that for the guys in the field. So we can do these individually, one at a time. We can do them network by network. So if I just hit this double button, that's how we get that. So if you're wondering how did we get these headers up here, how did we get, what information are we pulling, that comes from here. So it's going to come collapsed. This button will open everything up so you can see all the data that we can pull from those pipes. I can collapse them all so I can open them one at a time to see what's there. So if I did want to see that surface, the reference surface or the reference alignment where this station offset came from, I don't have to go hunt through all those. I can just come in here and use my filter for alignment, and you see now it highlighted just the general right there. So it's just the reference alignment. That's all I see. And I can push that right over. If I wanted to change what they're referenced to, I could click this button right here, and I can pick from any alignment that's already in the drawing. Whoops. Sorry. Hit the escape. So it remembers what I had set there before, but we don't want this, so I'm going to take that and I'm going to remove that. And if we want to rearrange these in any way, we can click, hold Shift, and then we can move these left, right. So if I can move all those that way, it's going to create some other ones, and I can easily remove those. So you could custom fill those in if you wanted to. So that's how the order of these gets put in. It doesn't have to be specific to what you pick from over here to make that happen. So with that, we can export that out. So it jumped over to there. I have to path to where I have those. You would probably have that path to a network location for where you keep those. So I want that to go with a specific structure right here. So I don't have to redo this every time. So here's what I've done. I've created that structure template, that Excel structure stake template that you see right here, with the headers for point number, northing, easting, sump, all the stuff that we would need in our CSV. So I went ahead and I made that ahead of time, so I don't have to reinvent the wheel, so to speak. But if you wanted to write to a new file, you would have to come in here and you would have to come down here, select new, and then pick the Excel workbook. So if you selected that and then give it a name right there, and then build from there. Whoops. So let me go back to that. Come on. Okay. I meant to delete that because I didn't want that in there. So I'm just going to delete that out of there. Okay, so with that, we have that, and we could write to it if we wanted to, but I find it's better if you take that and make a copy of it, and then just paste it right in here, and then rename it. Well, god darn it. Okay. I accidentally clicked to close there. So I'm going to call this storm, I believe it's 2A we're doing here. So 2A, storm 2A. So I'm going to call it storm 2A structures. Stake. So I have to click out of there, and I click it again. To select it, I say to open it. And now here's the tricky part to it. So I said I want to keep these headers here. So what this down here does, right here, starts in the cell. What cell do we want it to start in? So I'm saying I'm going to write to an existing sheet, and that tab already has pipes and structures in there. So I have these pipes, structures, or all. All is by default. So if I minimize that again, so I want the structures to go to structures. We don't have any pipes right now, but I'm going to select pipes also. And then what we need to do is we need to pick where we want those to start at. So you see right here, we kind of get a format of what that looks like. So I want the first one to start right there. So I'm going to select my A2. I'm going to do that again. Doesn't matter for the pipes because we don't have pipes. We're not highlighting that today. And then I want to click off this headers. So I can leave that checked as well. That won't matter. And with that, I can just export it out. Get a warning here. Then it opens up the Excel, as you see, right to the Structures tab. I did some formatting in here as well to get 2 decimal places here, and that got mixed up. I must have an extra one in there again. Let me delete that, see what happens. So let's delete that off of there. See if our station, if that comes in right again. I'm going to go ahead and close that, and let's re-export it. So everything should be the same, good to go. I'll just double click, check, and it didn't. For some reason, it's set to there again. Not sure why it's doing that. Oops. That one. Okay. And let's export it again. Did I not get it to go? Oh, there it came. Okay. So I still got that column. I'm not sure what I did there, but I can just delete that, move everything over one. So my name, change right there, my description. But anyway, you can easily set that up to do that, what you want. So with that, then I could come through, and once I have my Excel ready to go, I can just save it out as a CSV, clean it up, and I'm ready to go to get it out to the field. So then too, we can do the same thing with our sanitary. So if I just clear this and I come and grab my sanitary, I push that all over. You see that's all that's highlighted right now. If I load my structure staking, again, I'm getting, oh, it jumped right to my storm because we did that last time. I had that selected. So sanitary phase 1, and we repeat the process. And so we can do the same thing with our pressure networks. We have all the same. I already have this one set up to go. And I thought I had a template over there, but it's ready to go right here with those settings. Still, it will remember what I did. So again, same thing, tells us what we want. You notice the pipes, we don't have any info for those. If we wanted to get the northing and easting of the start and finish of those, if I switch this to pipes, right here, you'll see just the pipes that are there. I'm going to put it back to all. So we have our pipes. And then I can find right here, if I wanted northing, we use the same filtering. And we see our pipe northing start right here. If I wanted to include that and just do the pipes, and same with the easting. Whoops, and I hit exit again. But anyway, that's all I want to see today, or show you today, I mean. If you have any other questions as we go along, again, go ahead and put them in. And I really don't have anything else to show you today. I wanted to keep it short and show you some of the ways we can, I can show you one more thing. We could pull we do the same thing. We can pull, since we have the alignment here, we could pull offset elevations, or our station offsets for those too. So a number of different ways we can do this. Looks like we've got a little bit of time here. You've seen how this works. So let's do that one more. I'll do that with Label Genie again. So I'm going to come back here. I'm going to do this right from scratch this time to show you guys, again, how you would do that. So I'm going to do the same thing, alignment, station, offsets, and I'm going to leave it at feature lines. So I'll leave it at feature lines, and I'll grab that back a curb line. For right here. And we can pull our same elevations off those. I'm just going to do offsets to our points right there. Because I have a feature line, we can add that as well. So we'll do offset elevation for those again, or just offset, station offset. So I'll say okay right there. And again, we need to have our alignment, which we do, still there. Change my formatting, station tag, don't need that. Now if we needed to go stake the back of the curb locations, we can pull those off of there too. So just another way of creating our offsets, labels, to show. Sometimes I know in the past I have liked to, in fact, let me do that again. When I've been in the field, I like to have that printed out as a check for me to see where I'm at. I might enter that manually or might not. So for this one, let's change this and let's just add this, but let's put them at every 25. So I can come in here if I wanted to change that. I do that very easily. It said it was adding, I don't know how many, a lot. So maybe I misentered that. Oh, it picked up all of these. So we got all of these coming off of off of that alignment. Not really what you would want in this case. Push the wrong button, but you see how easily you can do that. So that's all I had for today. So again, it's part of our project suite of tool, our CTC CIM Project Suite. We also have the Manager Suite, as I mentioned before. So if you don't have it and you would like to get it, you can contact your local reseller, or you can go to our website here at ctcsoftware.com. We also offer a 14-day trial if you're seeing this for the first time. And then with that, you'll get that feature line to alignment for as long as you want it. And as always, if you have any ideas or need any help, please contact us here at support, and we'd be happy to help you out. Our tools are built from ideas that you have for you, and we love to hear any ideas, improvements that you might want. So with that, thank you for joining us today. Appreciate you spending the time with us. And if there are any questions, I will certainly get to them right now. But for those of you who want to leave, that's fine. If you want to stick around, I appreciate you spending the time with us. So thank you again, and we'll see you at the next one.